Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in the world. And I've got my face on today. Well, when I say I've got my face on, I'm actually presenting my face to the camera for the first time for a couple of days. A little bit cooler here. I don't feel quite so washed out. I had a good sleep last night. I've switched off from the news a little bit because, what I've realised is the news is bad for your mental health. So I've switched off from it a little bit. Got back on with, my Spanish classes and things, because sometimes this sort of channel, it does overtake a little bit what my bread and butter, what I should be doing, my work. Getting people to come along and learn Spanish, because that is, where I earn my income. I think I've let that go a little bit, so I'm going to have to balance this properly. But anyway, that's just me whinging away to myself. Okay, so thank you for being here with me. I hope you're all well wherever you are, whatever you're doing. I hope this world is treating you kindly, because it's not always kind, is it? Just sometimes waking up in the morning is an achievement. Getting up and going around your day, it's a hard old life, that's for sure. It's a difficult old life. Just when you think you're getting things sorted out, something else goes wrong, doesn't it? But anyway, that's that's how my life feels at the moment. But I hope all your lives are okay. So what we're gonna look at today is we're gonna do an update on these three missing boys. One unfortunately has already been found. Well, fortunately he's been found, but of course Jay Slater is deceased. It's just a little update on Jay Slater, because obviously he was found, but we're going to just look at a little update. Jack Sullivan, that I promised I'm going to look at every week until Jack is found. He's been missing a long time, since March, and his parents, his friends, his family, going through hell. So Jack went missing in Bristol. We're going to look at some little, not really updates, but just what's happening in the case of missing Jack. When I say not updates, we've not had any updates that he's been found or any of his belongings have found. No official updates anyway. So, we're just going to remember about Jack. And, these are really important to remember, because if this was your missing son or one of your loved ones, you'd want attention focused on them, wouldn't you? We all would. And then, of course, Michael Frison, who went missing in Sardinia. So, of course, Jay went missing in Tenerife. Michael went missing in Sardinia and has still not been found. And Jack went missing in Bristol in the UK and has not been found. Now, these are not the only three missing boys on the planet, that's for sure. There'd be loads of missing young people. I call them boys, but they're men, they're young men. But there won't only be them, there'll be lots of girls that are missing, but we can't, you can't, unfortunately, just not enough hours in the day to register everyone who goes missing. But anyone who knows of anyone who's missing or wants me to highlight, if you're a member, you can always drop me an email and recommend, a case to me. If you know of someone who's missing who you think might need a little highlight, maybe it can, because you know what, you never know who's watching. I'm sat here in mainland Spain making this video. Could easily be somebody watching from Bristol in the UK who just suddenly thinks, oh, I remember that day, or I remember finding a phone, or, of course, for Jay, unfortunately, it is too late. We're going to talk about Jay's funeral, really. Jay's funeral this coming up Saturday. And Michael Frison, I don't know if I have any viewers in Italy, but it might be somebody who went to Italy and spoke to Michael, or, was in Italy on holiday and thinks, oh, I think I might have seen him, because that's a real mysterious case as well. So we're going to look at these three cases. First, I'm going to say hello to everyone, and then we're going to start with Jay. But let me just take this down. So let me say hello to the ones of you that are in the chat. So, old hippie, hi Anna. Sorry, Annie. God, I'm in a Spanish mode. Hi Laurie, hi Chumba, hi Lisa, hi Yvonne. Hope your birthday was okay. Hi Kelly. Hi Katrina. Hope you're well today. Hi Pauline. Hi Janet. Oh, we love you as well, Yvonne. We love you. Hi Michelle. Yeah, we need to spread the love today. Spread the love. Hi Mara. Okay, so let's have a look. Let me turn my banner down. Yeah, I want to say thank you to all of you that subscribers, all of you that like my videos. Don't forget to put your DNA on the like button. And a special thank you, as always, to all my members who really helped support me. We had an interesting members live last night about the paranormal. And members lives are every Tuesday and Thursday evening. So if you want to join, you get to join in the exclusive members lives. The membership is $4.99 a month. You also get to use the special emojis, the special members emojis, and you get to suggest cases. Okay, also I want to thank anyone who sent me a super sticker or a super chat or those things, or bought me a Ko-fi or PayPal'd me. Thank you so much. Emailed me, left a nice message. I'm not going to say thank you to people that leave horrible messages. Oh, you know what? Do what you like. You know. As far as the messages that people leave, I'm not even reading them at the moment because I can't cope with them. So, so just to let people know, if I don't like, I try and like or read as many as I can, but if I can't read all of them at the moment. I've got too much other things going on. So just to let you know, if I don't sort of register your comment or whatever, please don't take offense. Just sometimes I really, I've got just a lot of things going on at the moment, and that's all there is to it. I just can't always get to them. Okay, so let's talk about Jay. Now, of course, Jay was the young boy, 19 years old, on holiday in Tenerife, had a tragic accident, fell into a ravine. He's been brought home now to Oswald Twistle in the UK, in the north of the UK, where he's from. Now, his funeral is this Sunday. Now, of course, the terrible thing that happened with Jay was the awful trolling. Here's Jay. The awful trolling that his family and his friends got. Absolutely just foul, in my opinion. That people making things up, literally, just ridiculous things. Not concerned people. The thing is, if someone's concerned for Jay, that's one thing. But people were nasty to his mother and his family in general and his friends. They're the ones that have lost Jay. Our lives carry on the same. We'll get up in the morning, our lives aren't affected, but we might feel a bit sad for a while, or poor Jay or whatever, but we're not affected now for the rest of our lives, like his family and friends are, having to, deal with the fact that he's gone. So, whatever the circumstances, Jay had this history, didn't he? He got into trouble when he was 16, and all this. And people who had nothing to do with Jay or his family, saying horrible things, criticising the GoFundMe when they hadn't even contributed. These kind of things. Just, it doesn't matter if you didn't contribute towards a GoFundMe. Nothing to do with you. The GoFundMe is a contract between the people who contribute and Jay's mum. And if the people that contribute want to contribute, if it went to 150,000, if it went to 200,000, then that is their choice. And then it's Debbie's choice what she does with it. It's her money once it's been donated, and she decides what she does with it. So this Saturday is the funeral. And, you know, it even got to such a point, this trolling, that the charity LBT Global, which is Overseas Crisis Support, this is a charity that if you're ever on holiday and something happens to you or one of your loved ones, God forbid, I hope it never happens, but they will support you. They will help you. They have helped Jay's family immensely, and they've tried to deflect, you know, a lot of this trolling, a lot of this, they've tried to deflect it. You know, it got to such a point that Jay's friends and family really have virtually turned off their social media to other people. And here on here, they do state specifically, hang on, let me go down. They do state specifically, do not contact the family. If you want to contact the family, contact them through us. The family are not making any interviews. They're not doing anything at the moment, just concentrating on burying their son, I suppose. Anyway, so they released this press release, didn't they? And about the funeral. Let me just, telling us that it was returned to the UK last week, and his body was repatriated. The UK post-mortem was ordered, and it concluded the same as the Spanish authorities. His death was caused by traumatic head injuries consistent with the fall from height, and the death would have been instantaneous, which is good. It's good to think that they don't have to you know, think that he was lying there for a long time, terrified and injured. That, you know, I think that'd be just a nightmare picture, isn't it, in your mind? For me, even, never mind for his own mum and dad, etc. Now, what they did, so I thought it told us when the funeral was. Yeah. So a celebration of life service will be held at 10:30 a.m. on Saturday, the 10th of August. So this is going to be this Saturday, and people are invited to attend and are asked to wear something blue in his memory. Family flowers only, but if you want to bring a single rose, you can take a single rose. And donations in lieu of flowers are being received for the charity LBT Global. So this LBT Global is a charity. So what Jay's mum said was she wanted, instead of flowers, apart from if people are coming and they want to bring a red rose, to give a donation to LBT Global, and they set up this sort of donation site. Now already I've seen people on social media saying, oh, asking for more money, blah, de, blah, de, blah. You know, but this money is not for Debbie, it's not for the family, but it wouldn't bother me if it was. You know, just don't give any money if you don't want to, you fool. But remembering Jay, this fundraiser in memory of Jay, so friends and family can honour his memory with a gift to LBT Global. I personally think this is really important because no one knows when they might need this charity. It could be anyone. You know, we've all got people who go on holiday. You know, if we don't travel much abroad, our family do, maybe our children, maybe our brothers and sisters, maybe our mum and dad. Who knows that one day they might need this charity to help them. So personally, I think it's a good charity to donate to. But of course, it's up to, you know, everybody, each to their own. You either donate or you don't. It's a choice. It's not an obligation. And if you don't donate, you can't be saying that people shouldn't donate. You cannot tell people what to do with their own money. Anyway, so that was good. But look what's happened. Now, I did contact the... you know, because I was wondering, you know, obviously I can't go to the funeral because I'm all over here in Spain. But I was wondering, you know, if they were going to, sometimes funerals are streamed, aren't they? Or services are streamed. Hi, Bertan. Who am I going for now? Hope I haven't missed. Hi, Pauline. I can't remember if I said hello to you. Hope I haven't missed anyone coming in. If I missed you and I didn't say hello again. And I'll get I'll say, hi, David. Oh, nearly missed David. Anyway, so, but look what's happened is people have been trying to sell the stream that actually doesn't exist, because there's not going to be a stream of his funeral. They must have decided not to have a live stream, or maybe there is, but they're only giving it to, you know, people like it through the family, who literally people who know the family or knew Jay, etc. But look at this. Scammers targeting Jay Slater's funeral. Terrible. So heartless online scammers have targeted Jay Slater's funeral. Will it never end? Will people not just leave this boy alone, his memory alone? All these conspiracy theories, I'm sorry, I think it's terrible. And, you know, for people who are doing it, you got to think, if that was your family, how would you like it? It's awful. People making things up. This boy had a tragic accident. That's what happened to him. And, you know, there's no suggestion of anything else except for what people are, you know, making up a story about. So a number of accounts have sprung up, allowing access to a live stream of the funeral in return for likes, follows, and even donations. LBT Global, the charity assisting the family, has had some of the accounts removed, but say it's endless work. Do you know what? That's the thing. The internet is so big now, isn't it? How, you know, and then all the different ones, you know, you've got Facebook, you've got X, you've got TikTok, you've got YouTube, you've got so many different platforms. How can you keep up with it all? And, you know, before you get, I mean, I think eventually they will find them all, but before they get some people have donated money probably to watch this funeral. I just think, what's your, you know, what's people's motivation for doing things like that? Are they that cruel and callous that they will, you know, deliberately mislead people? You know, that's what I've seen on TikTok. That's what started all these conspiracy theories and things, because of people saying things. Oh, I definitely know this. Fake accounts. Oh, you know, my friend's sister's cousin worked with his friend's sister's cousin, and they said, you know, all those sort of things. And then it's been perpetuated on some unscrupulous social media platforms, unfortunately. And, you know, people watch these things and they believe them. And then it's hard to stop them believing it again. You know, even when you know, it's obvious, when it's right in front of their face what's happened, they won't believe it because they're already thinking there must be something more to it. Anyway, so Chief Executive Matthew Searle, MBE, said, we are inundated with reports of these scams, and as fast as we can get the platforms to remove them, more appear. To be completely clear, there is no live stream of Jay's funeral, and anyone claiming to offer one is a scam. As much as being hurtful and deeply unrespectful, this is taking vital donations away from a small charity. The only donation page linked to the funeral and for donations in memory of Jay is that one we just looked at, which is their site. I mean, they're a charity. They rely on donations, you know, so, you know, the work that they do, you know, sending interpreters, trying to get searchers together. We'll have a look at that in a minute. You know, then they have helped Jay's family immeasurably. So, you know, they deserve to. And so I know that Jay's family have donated as well. I don't know how much, you know, because, of course, people going on about the GoFundMe, it's like they want Debbie to do you know, exactly what she did with the money or what she's going to do with the money, as if, you know, what's it got to do with them? And I would say to those people, if any of those people, if they're on benefits, I've said this before, how would you be? You know, somebody made you, you know, benefits are, you know, given to you. If somebody made you account for every penny that you spent, and if people thought, oh no, you shouldn't have bought a can of beer with your benefits, or you shouldn't have bought a packet of cigarettes, or you shouldn't have bought some marijuana, or you shouldn't have done this. How dare people tell other people what to do with their money, be it a donation, be it benefits, be it whatever? That's that person's income. And it's up to them to make their own decisions, their own choices about what to do. So we ask that anyone seeing one of these pages reports it to the platform. Please don't follow them or send them money. It is so typical of the vile trolling this family have received for them to target something so special as a funeral. So there you go. I just wanted to let you know about that. So if you do see anybody advertising on YouTube or any other streaming platform that they are streaming Jay's funeral, that is not with the authorization of the family. Now, whether there'll be people there, I think they've probably banned drones again, because this is the reason, you know, people made a big thing about Nicola Bulley's funeral. But of course they would, when they had a no-fly zone, I mean, it wasn't like no aeroplanes could go over. It was just no drones. They didn't want it being filmed. So that's why, I mean, I don't know why people can't see that. It's not rocket science, is it? You wouldn't imagine you're at a funeral, your loved one, you wouldn't want to be filmed, would you? And put out all over social media. I mean, come on. You know, people, why can't people think about this logically? Why do they not think how it would feel if it was them? You know, it's like these people aren't real. These are real people trying to deal with a terrible bereavement. You know, you have to, you know, you have to have some, you know, empathy for the family. And sorry, if you don't, then, you know, you're beyond me. I just can't go there, to be honest, because I just don't understand anyone that can think like that. I really don't. Okay, so that's the update I wanted to give you about Jay. So yeah, don't be sucked in by any social media platform that's telling you, oh, you know, they're live streaming the funeral or whatever. They're not. So that's all. So it's a bit of a warning, if you like, to people, because, you know, people are trusting. People do get sort of sucked in, especially by social media creators that they trust. And, you know, some of the things that you see, I mean, anyway, it's very sad. So that's that. Now I'm going to stay on the LBT Global page, because now we're going to talk about Michael Frison. And Michael Frison is the young man who is missing in Sardinia. And I noticed that LBT Global, they've had this post up because they are helping with Michael's case as well. So, urgent call for assistance, Sardinia. We are looking for search and rescue volunteers in Sardinia to assist in locating a missing person. Specially trained people are particularly sought, but anybody able to assist is welcome. Please email delta.ops@lbt.global if you can assist. Thank you. So, and then somebody asked, is this to find Michael? And they answered, yes, it is. So, now this is a very strange thing, isn't it? Because let's have a look at a picture of Michael. Michael's case is very odd, in my opinion, because apparently he'd gone over to Sardinia to volunteer. Apparently he speaks fluent Italian. He's got Italian family, so he knows Italy. It wasn't a strange place for him. And he went over to volunteer, apparently. Oh, look, my video's come up on there when I've Googled it. And here he is. But apparently he was overheated, and he started to feel a bit disorientated. And he said he had a sleep, and then when he woke up, he said he was going for a walk, but they say he only had his boxers on at the time, and that was it. He just disappeared. He didn't come back. So it's not known, is he is he being hidden by, has he gone to a community? Because he knows the area well. That's the only positive thing. I think he knows that area well, so he may have gone. His mum seems to think that he is still alive, and that maybe he's gone into one of these communities, etc. Let's hope so, because otherwise, he's been missing for quite a few weeks now. So it's not looking good if he's not in a community. Where is he? Where is he? Now, hang on, let me just put a couple of windows down. Hi, Kazaya. Yeah, it is very, very odd case, I think. There seems to be a thought that maybe he has gone missing on his own initiative, or in his own. I hope so, because if he hasn't, how can he still be alive? So here he is, Michael. Apparently there's currently an excess heat weather warning in Sardinia, with temperatures reaching 40 degrees in the daytime and 30 at night. It sounds just like Spain. That's exactly what it's like here. Though we've been less than 40 degrees. We're more in the mid-30s. So his mum, Miss Pitalis, has been seen searching villages, open terrain and cities where they have been alerted of potential sightings. Now, I picked this article because, actually, I don't think it was this one. I think it's, hang on. I've got another article as well, because his MP actually raised this in Parliament. We'll look at that in a moment. It does mention it in this article, but we'll look at the other article in a moment. So, yeah, Liberal Democrat MP for Yeovil, Adam Dance, made his first intervention in the House of Commons on the 30th of July. So that must have been literally the last day before Parliament broke for the summer. So he's actually brought it up in Parliament because the Sardinian police now said they're not searching anymore. They only search so long for people. Unless, like the Spanish police, they're saying they've stopped, but maybe they still are. But he's asked the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office to urge the Italian authorities to continue their search. Now, of course, that's another shame of Brexit, isn't it? And that we're not our relationships with Europe aren't as good as they used to be, so I don't know how that will work. I don't know if they'll be receptive to that or not. In a statement, Mr. Dan said, Michael is a constituent of mine, and I was pleased to raise the issue of Michael's disappearance in the Commons last week. We now have government attention, which has led to further involvement both in the UK and Italy to help Michael's mother, Christina, find out what has happened to her son. And the fundraising page has now raised, we're going to look at the GoFundMe in a moment, because there wasn't much on it, but it's sort of, it's improved. So did I get it? No. So the GoFundMe page for Michael, because of course his mum's had to go out there, and his brother, Emmanuel, his brother Manny, they've had to go out there. So, that won't have been cheap, the flights, and then they've got to stay somewhere. I don't know where they're staying. So the GoFundMe is now at £3,585. Evie Baker organised this, and there is now a beneficiary. I thought there was a beneficiary now. I thought his mum was the beneficiary. I thought a beneficiary had been added. I'm sure it was last time I looked at it. Yeah. So the beneficiary is Christina Pitalis, his mum. So yeah, people have been donating. That's good. So it has gone up. It was only sort of low 2000s, and now it's 3,585. So it could do with being more, really. But yeah, just hopefully it just pays enough for Christina to stay somewhere. It's bad enough. Like for Jack O'Sullivan, who we're going to look at next. Obviously, it's terrible for his parents, but they're in their own home. At least they're in their own area. They've not had to go out to a foreign country in August when everything's so expensive. This is the high season. It won't be cheap to find accommodation. It won't be cheap to rent a car. It won't be cheap to get a flight. Nothing will be cheap. So at least that's one thing for Jack's parents. Who, as I say, we're going to talk about in a moment. At least they haven't had to sort of, displace themselves and go to a foreign country. Now, Christina does speak Italian. I don't know if she is Italian. I think it might be her who is Italian, of his parents, or maybe both his parents are Italian. I don't know, but at least she's got the language. She speaks the language. Because that is a massive thing, isn't it? Oh, I don't think I've shared the GoFundMe. Here's the GoFundMe, sorry. Yeah, so 3,585 raised of a £10,000 target. Now, the other thing I just wanted to show you, so of course, now Paul Arnott was there, wasn't he? He went off, Paul Arnott, who was helping in the search for Jay Slater. Off he went to Sardinia. He had to get out of Tenerife. Remember, it was crazy, guys. He had to leave Tenerife, and off he went to Sardinia. But he wasn't there very long, and then the next minute he's off. He went to England. He never even mentions Michael now. That's it's not very nice. I'm sorry, Paul. You can't just forget someone like that. Anyway, so the last time, so he's been posting things about Ben Nevis, enjoying my last few days in England for a while, but he was supposed to be going to Jay Slater's funeral. So this was 5 days ago. So I don't know if he's going to Jay Slater's funeral. He says a lot of things, Paul, doesn't he? And then he doesn't do them, or he doesn't explain. Oh, look, somebody's commented there. I thought you were planning to meet with Catherine O'Sullivan. Let's see if you've replied. He hasn't even replied. So people asking him, I thought you were going to see Jacko. He's so rude, Paul, honestly. When he was in Tenerife and he was saying, oh, I've only had some ropes. I'm trying to find somewhere where you can rent ropes. And I sent him some links and said, oh, I found these places, in Tenerife where you can rent ropes. He never even acknowledged it. He didn't even like it. Never, maybe I haven't got time to do an answer or whatever. But for God's sake, he's so rude. And so these people are saying to him, I thought you were going to, because he said he was going to meet up with Jack O'Sullivan's parents. He said it. Nobody made him do it. And now he hasn't gone, but he's not even answering people, even to say, oh, it didn't happen, or I can't now, something else has come up. So rude he is to his followers. And it's not that he hasn't got time to answer, because I've seen him answer things. It's what he decides he's going to answer or not. So, yeah, it's all been about Ben Nevis. He put on this video, which obviously is an old video, about him in the snowy conditions on the 4th of August. People are asking him about all these missing persons cases now. Because he put this one up. Now I wonder why he put, oh, she's been found. Oh, so that's right, I remember this. So on the very same day you put her up, Rachel very luckily was found. So I'm just wondering why he put this post up, but now he's not even mentioning Jack O'Sullivan. Jack O'Sullivan's like, or Michael Frison, forget them. Anyway, he said this about the funeral, and this is what I read out to you earlier about Jay. Almost time to give you the send-off you deserve, bro. But he didn't actually know Jay. But anyway, never mind. That we all feel that we did know Jay. I certainly do. But I wonder if he's going to the funeral. I don't know if he's going or not. So yeah, so all he's been doing evening runs. He's in Bedfordshire. He's doing his evening runs. And that's it. That's it. He's not mentioned Michael Frison or Jack O'Sullivan at all. So why? Where are they just forgotten now? I mean, it's very odd. You can't follow his thinking. You want to think the best of people, and sometimes I think, oh well, at least he's trying, at least he's doing something. He sent us interesting videos of the terrains and things like that. But how do you just drop something like that? It's just, I say, not even mention Michael Frison after having been there in Sardinia. Very odd. Very, very odd. Hi, BF. Yeah, you know more about it, probably. Yeah, he's on why don't you just there's nothing wrong with doing a travel blog and going on holiday and showing nice videos and stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with that. But don't make out that you're doing this public duty to search for these people, because I don't think that's true. It's just not true. Yeah, guys. So just making sure I haven't missed anyone. Okay, so that was Michael Frison. So now that's it. There's no other updates as far as I know about Michael. I hope they managed to get some searchers, some volunteers, go over and help search. Is Michael just in a community? Because there's quite a lot of communities there, like vegan communities, or not hippie communities, but what's the word I'm looking for? People that like to live off grid, living in caves and things like that. So sounds good to me, actually, though not this time of year. But is Michael there? Is he safe there, or has something? Maybe not foul play, but has some accident befallen him? When somebody disappears just in their shorts or their boxers, and he left everything at the place where he was staying, so he didn't even take his phone, his computer, anything. So to me, it doesn't feel good. That's all, because he may have gone off to a community, but surely would at least have taken his phone with him. So it seems strange to me personally that he left all these things behind. So I don't know what happened to him, but yeah, blank face. I just read that out. You must have missed it. Yeah, his MP. It was his MP brought it up in Parliament. I just read that out to everyone. Okay. So where are we now? Let's put that down. So we're going now to talk about Jack O'Sullivan. And again, these just so awful, to be a mum or to be anyone, mum or dad or anyone, and not know what's happened to your child. It's just got to be the worst thing ever. It's bad enough when your child dies or something, they get ill, but to not know where they are, what's happening to them, I just think, you know, they can't be much worse than that, really, can they? So I'm on the Facebook groups on about finding Jack. Let's have a look at Jack. Make a cup of tea for me, BF, please. So this is the Facebook group. I follow this, find Jack. And here he is, Jack. Last seen it. We've been through quite often the actual, you know, story of when he was seen last. What I want to look at here, which I think is, so somebody has translated all the posters into various languages to help spread the word within our various communities. So I think that's because there are so many different communities, aren't there, in Britain? So you've got it in French. I never even thought about that. I would have done it in Spanish, but it just didn't even occur to me, but it should have occurred to me. They're constantly appealing for doorbell footage, you know, because it's got, somebody knows what happened to Jack. Somebody saw something. Now, as I think if you've watched the videos I've done about Jack, oh, German, oh, they haven't done it in Spanish, or I might contact them. So there's quite a lot of Spanish people live in the UK. Oh, there it is, Spanish. Let's have a look. Shall I check it? I'm going to put my teacher head on. Put my teacher head on and yeah, I mean, it's understandable, but it's not proper Spanish. But anyway, that's fine. Sometimes the thing is not, see, it's not premio, it's recompensa for a reward, not premio. A premio is a prize. But I might get in touch with them. It wouldn't matter. They still understand what, you know. They still understand it, even though it's not. It's just my teacher head. I just can't help it. I should send it to them with red pen. Sorry, I'm being facetious, but no, bless Jack. Bless his little face. But yeah, you know, it doesn't matter as long as people can understand it. And of course, it's got the actual details on, I think, of the email, which is the most important thing for people to contact if they know anything. Because there's a lot of Spanish people in Great Britain. I don't know what's in London anyway. You know, there's a lot of foreigners in general in London. But a lot of Spanish people go to Britain, to England, and I think, well, Ireland as well is a very popular place for Spanish people. They go to learn English, they go to study, sometimes they go to be nurses or to work. So, you know, there will be big Spanish communities, but I'm not sure in which particular areas, you know, because like everybody who lives abroad, oh, I'm not sharing it, am I? Anybody who lives abroad, they always congregate in their own communities. You know, people whinge on, you know, oh, they don't integrate. You want to be in Spain, British people don't integrate at all. They all stay in their little enclaves. You know, they don't live amongst the Spanish most of the time. They don't learn the language, you know, so that is just human nature. You know, even when you go abroad, people tend to, you know, congregate in their own communities. That's, you know, everybody does. It's not just one community does that. British people do that as well. You know, there's places here where you'd go, you wouldn't even know you were in Spain. You know, Spanish people have said that to me. They felt intimidated themselves in their own country because it's just all British people. But Benidorm's a prime example. You know, you know, Benidorm is a real eye-opener for a Spanish person, let me tell you. Anyway, so yeah, it's really good that they've done that, isn't it? It's great that they've done that. I've stopped sharing now, hang on. It's great that somebody's done that. They've got it in Ukrainian even. so it's good. Now, the police apparently told Jack's mum that in their experience, when young people go missing near a body of water, they're normally in the water. I personally feel that Jack is probably in the water, but I know they've done searches. So why haven't they found him? But we know that sometimes it can take a long time to find someone in the water. But this seems a very long time, because this is March. Now, I don't know if they're out there searching for him still in the water or not. I just don't know. I don't know all the details. Something else that somebody very nicely put on here, bless it. When you see his little face, and his mum is, devastated, as you can imagine. Now, she was on this morning. Jack's mum, Catherine, was on this morning.
It's now been 151.
I'm going to play this video, but I'm going to turn the sound down. I think you can see the subtitles, because the problem with Good Morning Britain is they will definitely pick me up for copyright. I know that 100% because they always do. I think the subtitles. Yeah, so this is a boy that was in constant contact with his mum, so this you'd think if he was, if he had fallen in the water here, surely you'd think they'd found him by now, but they haven't found any of his. I think they found a bunch of keys, but that's about it. But there's loads of other things they haven't found. So he messaged his mum at 1:52 a.m. saying he was safe and he was going to try and get a taxi. Yeah, and then the strange thing was, apparently his friend phoned him, and he or somebody, because I think it's important to remember, it may not have been Jack who answered the phone, because all they did was say hello. So would you realise if it was Jack or not? And as soon as they said hello, the phone was disconnected. So did it run out of battery? Don't think so, because the phone continued to show, a ping or whatever they call it, till the early hours of the morning, round about 6ish, or even later. I'm not sure. She might say in a minute. So was it Jack who answered the phone, or was it somebody else who answered the phone and then just disconnected it? Strange. We don't know. So it remained active till 6:44 a.m. Yeah, so it's not been found. The mobile, and when Jack's parents went there, when they went out looking for him, went to where because they had that Find My phone on it, there was nobody there. So Jack's mum, Catherine, was on Good Morning Britain the other day. Oh, yes, with criminologist David Wilson. Well, he's good. You'll have probably seen him on true crime programs, etc. He's very good, isn't he? So, and I think it's amazing, isn't it? Her composure. I always say this. She's. I know she's on Good Morning Britain, but she's done her hair. She's gone along. She speaks very reasonably. She's very calm. I honestly, I just don't know if I could. Mind you, it's been a while now, so she probably wasn't like that in the beginning. She was probably frantic, and she's still frantic inside. But you know, she's gone along there. She's talking calmly. She just gives the facts, etc. It must be so difficult. Honestly, I really do not know how these people even manage to get up in the morning, brush their teeth, you know, and go about their normal day. That's sad there, because she said he went to a birthday party. He was in two minds about whether he should go or not. Isn't that awful? Bless. God, if only he hadn't gone. But anyway, he did go. Yeah, and you'd encourage your child to go. Yeah, go on, you know, because it was midweek, wasn't it? But yeah, go. You know, why not go? And that's what exactly how I would be. Yeah, go on, you'd be fine. Go. She'll feel guilty about that now. It's a shame. So he went out quite late. He met some people in a pub beforehand. And then they went to a house, at a birthday party at a house. So see, Jackie sounds like a good boy, doesn't he? Which he says he was in communication with me throughout some of the evening. And I say a good boy, he's not a boy, he's a young man, but you know what I mean. To her, he'll always be a boy, you know, because your children are always children. You don't realize that until you have children and they get older, because when you were young and your parents were irritating you because they were always fussing over you too much. But as you get older with your children, you understand exactly how they felt. So he was in, you know, it's not one of those young lads just goes off and never hear from him. He was in constant, he was in communication with her throughout the evening. She was probably staying up because she wasn't probably sure whether she'd need to go and pick him up or not. Oh, there you go. Yeah, 22-year-old. She can't really relax and go to bed because she's thinking, well, he might want me to pick him up. So he said to his mum in the end, yeah, I'm going to be here a bit longer than I thought. I'm going to get a taxi. You go to bed. You know, don't stay up for me any longer. You go to bed. So she went to bed. Now that's interesting, because she says she woke up with a start and just felt that something was wrong. I do think these parents, they do get that, you know, that is a feeling that you get. I've heard lots of parents of missing children. One in particular that I'll always remember is little April, you know, who went missing in Wales, and her dad saying he just knew from the when she died, because she was murdered by a child lover who has been caught and he is in prison. Can't remember his name actually, but it don't matter. His name don't matter. He knew. He said he just knew inside that something had happened to little April in Wales. And I do think, you know, that if the parent is intuitive, I could see how they could feel that. When she woke up, felt something was wrong, she went into his room and saw that he hadn't come home. So she started trying to get hold of him, texting him, WhatsApping him, calling him, to no avail. So that's when she looked at the Where's My Phone app, and she placed him an address close to where she lives. So she went to that address. Or 20 minutes later, they were there at the address, and there was nobody there. That's it, Pauline. Mark Bridger, April Jones, yeah. But April's dad said he knew straight away. He just felt it. And the thing is he's 22, the guy. So yeah, where do you decide that you're going to ring the police? Because at the end of the day, he's a grown man, really. So, you know, you'd be sort of thinking, oh, well, he probably fell asleep. I'd be thinking, oh, I might fall asleep on the sofa, or maybe, you know, he's gone back to someone else's house. Maybe he's met a girl, or, you know, there's a lot of different things that could happen. And you'd be reasoning all that in your head. But she had a hunch that something was wrong. Because for her, he wasn't someone who did that. You know, if he would have decided he wasn't coming home for whatever reason, he would have contacted her, he would have texted her, he would have called her and just said, oh, don't worry, I'll be back about 10, or I won't be back tonight, etc. You know, you know, at the end of the day, you do know there are some, you know, there are some kids, if you like, I'm sure their parents, you know, worry like mad, because they might say to them, you know, they might not tell them that they're coming home. But, you know, in this day and age, I think it's unusual for someone, even someone who's maybe a bit wilder than Jack, it's unusual for them not to let people know, because it's so easy to do it now. You know, when I was sort of 19, 20, 21 or whatever, still living at home, you couldn't let someone know, because we didn't have mobile phones, so you would have had to actually ring them. You know, you would have had to actually find a phone and ring them, you know, fixed phone sort of thing. So it's much more difficult. So contacted the police an hour later and were told that it to phone back in 12 hours. But by the time it got to 11 o'clock, she was frantic. He phoned him up, reported him missing on the phone, and then later a policeman came to the house. So they said they had CCTV. Right, sorry, I've just got to stop it a minute because my camera seems to have gone off. I'm just going to try and sort it. Move. Now, can you hear me? Hi, Moonbeam. Hi, Junior. Can you actually hear me? Because the camera's actually gone off. I mean, the actual video is on mute. I've just been reading it out. Can't get the camera to come back on. Right, you can hear me. Hi, Natalie. Good. Okay, let's carry on with it. So I just don't know why the camera's gone off. You know, it's just been acting up lately. Okay, let's carry on. So the police said to her that they'd seen an image of him near the water. And this is when they said to her that in their experience, young people walking out near the water end up in the water. And we've seen that, haven't we, with Riley Strain. Now, whether Jack was pushed in the water, lots of people, you know, there's the bloody canal pusher in Manchester. Does happen, you know. I'm sure that not all young people that end up in the water, it is suspicious circumstances, but sometimes it probably is. And the thing is, how do you know? You know, I mean, it seems funny until they actually find Jack, find his items. You know, had someone stolen his phone? You know, was he mugged? Was he pushed in the water? Is he even in the water? Where is he? You know, it must be awful for this poor mother. So, you know, because she's been told basically by the police that he probably is in the water. Yeah. So they couldn't even go to bed and sleep. You couldn't. I don't know when you would be the first night you would sleep. I think it'd have to be with sedatives, wouldn't it? How could you? How could you sleep not knowing what had happened to him? Oh, and then the next day someone came to the house with a set of keys that had been found. That's strange, isn't it? So his actual door keys still missing, and all the other things he had with him are missing, but a set of keys had been found. So she's not very happy with the police. She's put a complaint in against the Avon and Somerset. Is it Avon and Somerset police? Because she's not happy with the way that they've treated the case, the way they've treated her. And Catherine, she's a very nice woman. You can see that she's very softly spoken. She's very calm. But you can tell she's got that British steel in her. This is a baby she's looking for. She isn't going to give up on this. They're not going to fob her off. So gradually more CCTVs found, and the journey's put together. So here's some of the CCTV pictures of him. That it's all had to be pieced together. So finally, she managed to get them to release the CCTV to her, and she found more CCTV of him. really it makes sense that when they're looking for someone on CCTV, maybe it is the family that should find them, because they know their loved one more than anyone, don't they? How they walk, what they look like from a distance or close up. When it's your child, it's probably unmistakable, to you, which is your child and which is, your son and which isn't. And she found him on the CCTV in a different part, heading back into town there. I wonder if he couldn't get a taxi where he thought he was going to get a taxi from, and then he ended up walking back into town thinking he could get a taxi there. So he's reading out a statement from the police. So, of course, the police are adamant that they're exploring every avenue, and they said that they're contacting her every week. But she said it's just an email. She look, poor woman. She does look absolutely desolate, doesn't she? Look at her eyes, bless her. So there, her and on the Facebook page, etc., people are distributing leaflets, organising searches. I think it has definitely recently received more media attention than before. It seemed to, didn't seem to be that much attention on Jack O'Sullivan, whereas with Jay Slater, of course, there was. But I think it's because Jack O'Sullivan as well, he's like, a sort of a good boy. I think part of the reason why Jay Slater's case, apart from the fact it was abroad as well, and there were mysterious things in it, but there's mysterious things in this case. But I think because Jack is like, he's not, I don't know, as laddie, if you like, as Jay was. Maybe that's why, but who knows? Or maybe it just takes someone to be, get out there on social media. And Catherine admits that's not her thing. So, if you're not social media, if you're not into social media, of course, with Jay, he was a young lad, his friends were all into social media and stuff. So that probably helped raise the profile. Yeah, so she's saying we don't have a lot of contact with the police anymore. We just have a weekly email correspondence with them. How sad, really, because it's been 3 months. I think, was it March? It's March, April, May, June, July. Oh God, has it been 6 months? Oh my God, so it's been so long now. So it is still an ongoing investigation. They have now a private investigator. They've probably used the GoFundMe for that. Charlie Hedges, a missing persons expert. I'm going to have a look for that. Oh. Oh, it's coming up as a woman. I need to look at that. I don't know if it could be her. So she says, I can see I can see Jack on that last piece of footage. I can see him walking in a straight line with purpose. And now he's not here anymore. Yeah, and there were a lot of cars driving past. So this is why she cannot imagine that nobody would have any, dash cam footage or whatever. But I suppose, who knows? But if not dash cam footage, you think somebody would have seen something and remember seeing Jack. So I do think if you're driving in the early hours of the morning and you saw someone walking along, you would notice them, wouldn't you? Because, you know, if it was like in the daytime, there might be hundreds of people walking past. You might not register anyone. But like 5, 6 in the morning, it looked very lonely there, didn't it? There wasn't anybody around. Then you would think maybe that people would notice. So to me, it sounds otherworldly. Well, it's not otherworldly. Unfortunately, it does happen all the time. So he's calling her an amazing woman, but you can see her face. She doesn't feel very amazing, I'm sure, at the moment. Bless her. But she is an amazing woman. But I'm sure she'd rather just not be an amazing woman, just be a mum with her son back home. So someone is reported missing in the United Kingdom every 90 seconds. Oh my God. 70,000 people reported missing every year. But 80 to 85% of those people are found within 48 hours. So that's good. Yeah, so he's saying that out of those people, normally a relationship had broken down, they were worried about money, they had mental health issues. Of course, none of this applies to Jack, does it? Oh, younger children can go missing as part of a custody dispute. So then Dermot asked, why do some people get more attention than others? I mean, it is a fascinating thing that some people get no attention whatsoever, and some missing people get all the attention. And he's talking here about the ideal victim. Someone who is seen of having legitimate victim status. Normally women as opposed to men, younger people as opposed to older people. But he goes on to say that then when they become elderly, then they're then vulnerable as well. Yeah. Tends to be white people get more attention than black people if they're missing. So the news, I mean, I've said this before, that's what the news do. They'll put a story up and then they see what clicks they get in this day and age. You know, ages ago, it would have been they'd see how many papers they sold. But what they do now, of course, I've noticed that on Sky News, BBC, all those, they put up these stories with just the headline, and you have to click into it to read the story. You can't just read the story on the screen. So that's what they do, and then they monitor, I'm sure, how many people click into each story, and if it gets a lot of clicks, they'll carry on with that story. But if only a few people click into it, forget that story. They sort of fall off the edge. They almost rotate, don't they? You see a line of stories, you've got your headline, then you've got a line of other stories, and as they get less and less newsworthy, they sort of fall off the edge. That's what I've noticed happens on Sky News, for example, which is who I get most of my news from. If I see a story and I click into it, I'm sure it's not just me that's clicking into it, but there's some stories up there and you think, oh, I'm not really interested in that. So that's how they judge these days, who to go with. As I say, years ago it would have been how many papers they sold with a headline. Now they don't even have to put it in a paper, they just put it on their website. So he thought that Jay Slater, he's bringing Jay Slater up here, he became so much in the news because his friends were good at using TikTok, Instagram, social media, etc. But I think it was to do with his past as well. So the reason she was on this morning was a fresh appeal just to put his name back out there, his face out there. There must be somebody who saw him. It's like something from a film. It's your worst nightmare. It must be. I'll tell you, every day you must be thinking, God, is this really happening? I'm sure you've all felt like that about other things. I felt like that about things. Sometimes something's happening. Your brain just can't compute it. It's like, how can this possibly be happening? It's like a nightmare, and that's how it would be feeling for poor Catherine. So yeah, maybe somebody does know something. Maybe they might not realise what they've seen or found, or where is he? Where is poor Jack? So yeah, if anybody knows anything, obviously they should get in touch with the police or get in touch with the Facebook page. Now, I'll just come back, make sure you're all okay. Night, Kelly. See you tomorrow. Oh, see, look, why is my camera not working? Anyway, as long as you can hear me, that's the main thing. Now, I was looking for this Charlie Hedges, private investigator or missing persons. Right, let's share this. So, oh, he's got an MBE. So, Charlie Hedges is acknowledged as one of the UK's foremost experts on missing persons. So they're helped locate international. Here's Charlie. So he's apparently helping, she said. During a career spanning 36 years with the police and more lately with some of the UK's leading public bodies in his field, he has amassed a wealth of practical and theoretical experience nationally and internationally, and is now sought after as a freelance advisor and media commentator. So he joined the UK Missing Persons Bureau in 2008. In 2012, he took up a new post at CEOP, Child Exploitation and Online Protection Centre. Wonder if he's got Jack on here. Gosh, all these people on here. Dear me. I don't know if Jack's on there. No, Jack doesn't seem to be on there. Anyway, that's who she said was helping out, wasn't she? Gosh, she's got unidentified people. Dear me. See, also, there are so many. I went through one of these missing people, people that have been recovered from the sea or from water. There's so many people, that have been recovered, but they're not identified. It's very sad, that, isn't it? That people aren't even, you're not even identified. Nobody's looking for you. Dear me. So sad. Life's quite sad, isn't it? But you just start looking into things. That's why you really do have to count your blessings sometimes. I've been there, Forest of Dean. It's a beautiful place. Man from Edinburgh, Giorgio and Katrina. Sorry, just let's have a look at that. Giorgio and Katrina, found on the 21st of February 1979. A body of a man was found at Porthminnock Beach on St Mary's in the Scilly Isles. Sorry. Right, and so the man was believed to have been born amid the world wars, aged between 40 and 60, and he'd been in the water for up to 4 months. White, 5'4", dark brown grey in hair, and he had a wedding ring which said Giorgio and Katrina 1956. It's fascinating, isn't it? It is fascinating. I know it's sad, but it just seems awful to me that people aren't identified as well, Right, let me put that other picture back up, because otherwise you're just looking at a black screen. So I don't know what Jack's friends have said, Pauline. The people at the party, because don't forget this, it is an ongoing investigation, isn't it? So there's probably things, I don't know, probably things that people can't say, that even Catherine, his mum, can't say. The friend that phoned him and said he answered the phone but just put the phone down. Was it Jack that answered the phone? Is he in the water? And if he is in the water, did he fall in there? Was he pushed in there? Has someone mugged him, taken his phone? So many questions, that poor woman. And his brother, Jack's brother, we looked at what he was saying. He walks Jack's last walk every day to see if he can find anything. Hi, Carla. He walks that walk every day, and you wouldn't you? If you knew that was where he last was, how could you not suppose you're always hoping to find something. Anyway, let's hope. So I just want to keep it all fresh in people's minds. The update on, of course, Jay has been found, but the update on Michael is the other one. So it's Michael and Jack that their families are going through sort of torment, wondering what's happened to him. Sure, Jay's family's going through torment, but for a different reason, knowing what's happened to him. You know, it's like none of it's good news, is it? So, yeah, but I will keep you updated if I hear anything about Michael or Jack. Or Jay, if anything new comes up, I will always let you know. Okay, so that's it. I'm off. And now tonight I will be up in the night watching the court appearance of Patrick in the Samantha Murphy case. Patrick is going to be attending court in the early hours of the morning. Sorry, not in the early hours of the morning in Australia. No, the early hours of the morning in Spain. I think it's about 2, 3 in the morning in Spain. He's doing it. He's got his court hearing. It'll probably be something and nothing. It's not going to be a mega thing, I don't think. He's not attending the court. He's appearing on Zoom video link. But you can, you know, I will be watching by video link. So I will try, and I don't know if he's even going to speak. You know, maybe only his lawyer will speak for him. I don't know if there's going to be any answers. I don't know if the police are going to say what evidence they have against Patrick. Patrick Stevenson, this is, who's been charged with the murder of Samantha Murphy in Australia. So I don't know what, if anything's going to come of it, but I'll be watching it, and I will let you know tomorrow what the result is. And if we do, if you know, it may be that we don't get to hear anything new, but if we do, I'll let you know. Hi, Angela. Yes, do you know, I don't know if you've seen it, Angela, or not, but I have done videos about the other people missing in Tenerife. Ricky. I don't know which, if there's people that maybe I don't know who are currently missing, who've recently gone missing, please let me know. Send me an email, Vicky Marie Chats, Vicky with an I, @gmail.com. You know, I'll always try and sort of highlight anyone that I can. Okay, so that's it. I'm going. So I may not see you later on today, because I may have to go sleep and get up at 2 o'clock in the morning to watch this court case. I'll see how it goes, but I'll definitely be back tomorrow. So thank you as always for watching. Take care. You know, give your loved ones a hug, and I'll see you really soon in the next video. And until then, as always, may your God, let me find my ticker. Sorry, may your God go with you. Thank you so much.